Hi, welcome to Cliterally Speaking the Podcast. I'm Michelle Doherty.
And I'm Emily Lane.
We are BFFs dedicated to bringing you conversations between girlfriends over a bottle of wine.
Oh, I am so excited about the wine part.
Oh, me too. So pull up a chair, grab your glass,
And let's get talking.
Hey, Emily, how are you?
Hey, Michelle.
This is so
so
we are.
Yes. So this is a very exciting
It is.
live episode.
It is totally an exciting live episode.
For a lot of reasons. I mean, one, it's our time of the month.
It is.
So we
like
love
to share
our
with everybody.
time of the month here.
Yes.
And
Yes.
we're shaking things up this time because...
Because
your
it's
birthday.
April 24th.
Well-
and it's our time of the month, and it's so close to my
That's
birthday.
right. A very important birthday.
Yes, I'm going to be 50.
She's going to be 50 years old.
in a week.
That's right. So to commemorate this, we are at Shock City Studios rather than being at Studio C today.
Correct.
And we have a studio audience. Hello, studio audience. Yay, say hi. Woo! Thank you for joining us. So everybody that's here brought their own picnic and own bottle of wine to share with us today. Definitely let us know what you're drinking out there in Facebook land. And I'm just going to pull
Fantastic.
this up here.
I finally figured it out on my computer so I can watch us
Comments.
along and the
Yeah.
comments.
There we are.
I know, it's kind of crazy.
Oh, there it is.
I mean,
oh,
this-
that's fun. Oh,
Yeah,
See?
exactly. You did the same thing
yeah. How do I mute this thing?
on the
All right.
side.
Phew.
and,
Learning curve here. So, hey,
Definitely learning curve.
thank you, Denise, our good friend Denise with
Brand You.
STL Verified, who was our guest earlier in season 1,
Yes.
helped us set
Episode
up.
21.
Yes, with Brand New Media. She helped us set up the visuals for today. So thank you. I know she has to scoot out, but I want to say thank you for helping us get set up. See you soon. Yay!
Bye, Denise. Thank you.
So, Michelle,
Emily,
it's your birthday. Today we're celebrating your
we're
birthday.
celebrating my birthday, yes.
So to do that, we brought a
sorry about
decadent bottle of wine. A very delicious and decadent bottle of wine.
I'm so excited about it. We've been looking at that bottle for a couple months now. And I think my birthday is the most important day or most important reason to open it.
Absolutely. It makes perfect sense to
Yeah.
enjoy this amazing bottle on this day. So the bottle we're enjoying is from Nicholson Jones. It is a Cabernet Sauvignon from 2012 in Coombsville. That's Napa Valley, California.
Oh, wow.
So this is definitely beyond our traditional price point, everybody. This is, no joke, a decadent spend for us. And but you only turn 50 once. So
Yeah.
so this would
Everything
be
is 51, 52, 53 now. I mean, I only get 50 once.
it's only uphill from here.
Only uphill, pushing a boulder, I think. That's what they say. It is it is an expensive bottle of wine. And because it's my birthday, we're drinking it. Otherwise, on the podcast, we do try to keep it at
Below 20 price point.
right. We started at like around 15. Now we've edged up to below 20.
It's
So
slowly climbing.
yeah,
But
probably by like season 5, we won't know a bottle under like $40 or something like that. We'll have
Yeah.
drank all the under 15 bottles.
there's, you know what, the world is full of wine. I'm sure we'll be able to stay in a reasonable price point for everyone. So, I'm curious about, I know you just had your first sip of this wine, so I want you to start thinking about how this is tasting to you. To me, on the nose, I get some earth, I get dark chocolate, I get lots of those black fruits like black currant, blackberry, I get cassis, vanilla, a little cinnamon. On the palate, all those fruits kind of come through, very concentrated fruits of cherry, plum, blackberry, again, currant. I think this is just, oh my gosh, the acidity is nice and silky. I mean, it tastes to me like it's how
Like
it's priced.
Well, it's okay to go ahead
Yeah.
and tell everybody how much it is, Emily.
Yeah,
That's
this is in
what
the
we want-
this is in the $125 price point. Yeah. Yeah. Shock, gasp.
We used a Groupon coupon so that we could get that, and we saved up our S&H green stamps and a few other things that we compiled together, and we were able to get this bottle. But I am absolutely a worthwhile reason to drink it.
I couldn't agree more.
We've had a couple more guests arrive.
Yes, welcome
our studio audience.
Thank
and
you for joining.
Everybody out there watching us, please tell us what you were drinking. And if you feel
Yeah.
like telling us how much yours cost, feel free to say
Maybe you
so.
can make us actually feel a little better. So when I called Jason at the wine merchant about what we should be pairing with this wine, he recommended dark chocolate. So I brought in this nice little flourless dark chocolate cake so that way we could have that perfect little pairing with this wine.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So I should have my birthday every day.
You know what? We should both have our birthdays every day.
Well, this is my 6 months coming up because we just finished your 6
That's
months.
true. We
We
did.
made that agreement.
That's true. Now it's celebrate you time.
It's my time.
So is this in all, honesty here, is this a difficult birthday for you? Or are you excited? Like, how are you really feeling about it?
I am probably like every other 50-year-old woman out there. I don't really give a fuck that I'm turning 50. It's more like
Perfect.
I'm kind of like, okay, fine. That's it. I'm 50 and they say that 50 is the new 30, but whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be where I am because of all of my life experiences and who I've blossomed into over the last 50 years is, I think, pretty awesome. And, and I think back to how I felt at 20 or 30 or, I don't know, last week.
Yesterday.
It doesn't bother me like I thought
Yeah.
it would, or people might have projected. Because I think still in my heart, I feel like I'm 18 to 21.
Okay.
My
Right.
knees don't tell me that. My hips don't tell me that.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But I still think if you're, my heart and my mind.
Right.
So
That's
someday,
good.
Emily, when you get close to this age, I'll ask you.
Every minute I'm getting closer to. It's so strange to me. Like as the years pass, there are landmark birthdays that have come that I've felt really great about, and then there are other landmark birthdays that have come that I've struggled with, and I'm not sure what that is related to. It's for me. I don't know. Maybe it's what's happening in life at the time, and and a feeling of your expectations on where you should be in life at that time.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of maybe a little different than other people out there, but I thought when I turned 36, that was the sexiest age.
Okay.
Oh, 36.
Yeah,
You
it
weren't
was a great
35,
age.
which was too young. You're not 37, which is too old. And then I thought the same thing when I turned 46. Oh, you're not 45. You're not 47. So just call me when I'm 56.
I was just
So I
gonna
think that's
say,
going to be my
yeah.
next new sexy age. And 50 is just sort of like the baby of the 50s.
Okay.
But I think, I don't know, I'm just really glad to be here.
Yeah.
And
Right.
every birthday and every day above ground is a good day. So
I agree. But cheers to that.
Cheers to that. Yeah.
Yes.
so
What are you thinking on this wine?
I'm thinking this wine is very, very good.
I know I keep making really weird sounds. I'll try to hold that
Thankfully,
back.
this is a live show, and you guys are
It's
seeing
a-
she's actually
right,
drinking
I'm-
when she's making those weird sounds. Unlike when we have our podcast and you guys don't see us.
You get to, that stuff gets to be, tuned out a little bit.
Not to I'm not gonna even steal that terrible a wine before its time statement, because this is definitely not related to them. But the more sips I've taken, the better it's tasting.
oh, absolutely.
So, and you
Yeah.
let this sit for an hour before you decanted it. Man, it's
Right.
going to be really good by the time we take that last sip.
The winemaker recommends actually decanting this for 2 to 3 hours for full expression of fruit. So
Wow.
that gives you,
Wow.
right.
Well, watchers and listeners, we only have an hour, and we
I
gotta
know.
hit
We're
this.
gonna make it happen.
We're gonna drink it all.
So tell me what is it inspiring in the undergarment selection?
Right. For a woman about to turn 50. It's a very smooth pair. It doesn't cut into your legs. It doesn't shave.
Phew, thank goodness for that.
It holds up wash after wash after wash. The elastic stays tight. But it's a very pretty and elegant as well.
Okay.
You know, there's some structure, but yet some softness and subtlety too. I don't think that's a word. Suppleness.
I think we should make it a word.
Supple-ty?
Supple-ty. I like it.
It's some
I think we can do
supple-ty.
something with that.
I've only had a few sips.
You've had a little supple-ty
I'll be
of the
speaking in
supple-ty?
tongues in a few. So there's some strength to it and yet some softness.
Okay.
Much like a woman who's
About
50.
to turn
About
50.
50.
Yeah.
There's some strength in us, yet there's some softness. But
Are there any implements with these pair of panties? I don't know.
Well, Emily, are you needing some implements to go with these panties? Because
I mean, they're always fun.
I mean, you know, I do improv, yes, and okay, go with it now.
Right, that's right.
I don't see any implements with this. I
Okay.
think this is, you know,
Stands on its own.
stands on its own.
Okay.
I mean, at $125 a bottle, it better be able to stand on its own.
Yes.
I'm telling you.
Well, there are a few little presents here for you today. Our good friend Ann Rabbit brought those beautiful flowers from Third Studio for you to enjoy, which she provided flowers for my birthday where they're just gorgeous.
Right.
And so voila, gift number 1 and gift number 2 for you. Yes.
Well, what's nice is this is a live show, and I don't need to narrate. And it's a pink ribbon, and I don't have to do anything like that when we get on your show. So
Right. And I'm slowly opening each piece of.
I wonder who's it from?
I didn't fill out the card. Sorry. I figured it's going to be pretty obvious that it was from me. So, yeah.
From Emily. I'm sorry this
You
is
should
taking
just be
so
able
long.
to pull the ends of the ribbon, just like you're taking your shoes off. There you go.
Well,
Yeah.
now you know I struggle to take
You
my
never,
shoes
you
off
never
as
wear
well.
lace shoes.
Well, now it's a knot. Maybe.
Would you like some assistance with
I'm just
that?
gonna move. Oh, but I do need it open,
You do.
don't I?
Yeah.
No. I might need my glasses.
Okay. All right.
Oh, I can see better now. Again, this getting 50 thing is a little unnerving. I did notice the other day when I was checking myself in the mirror, getting ready, putting my perfume on. I was like, oh, that's what they mean by crepe skin.
Oh, it just happened overnight.
It did happen overnight. Just like my eyesight went like the day before I turned 40, and I was like, what's this? I can't see the number on the penny anymore.
So we got a little happy birthday from Jason at the
hi,
Wine
Jason
Merchant.
at the
Thank
Wine
you, Jason. Thank you for this amazing bottle,
gosh.
by the way.
How did you know?
And this is perfect
How
for
did
the
she
bottle.
know?
Yes. So I'm always, we're always talking about stemware here on Cliterally Speaking, the podcast. So
Very nice.
when last time we were in Studio C, we were using a couple of different glasses.
Yeah, I mean, I just make do.
And I was demonstrating how one glass made the wine
you.
smell and taste superior than the other glass. So I got Michelle some proper wine drinking glasses.
Ones
Yes.
that would actually enhance the glass
That's
of
exactly
wine,
right.
because I have never felt that anything that I drank out of before was improper. It might have had my wine not be as great as I thought it would be, but it was just But prior to getting to know Emily, I just thought that the glass was just a vehicle to get it in my mouth, right? But
You mean the Solo Cup was just a vehicle to get
the
it in
red
your
Solo
mouth?
Cup is just a vehicle. I didn't need to
Right.
worry about it, and I can't get them out of the box.
Don't worry about
I don't
it.
have my
no,
glass,
it's all right.
but thank you very much.
Yes.
We're looking forward to adding those.
We'll be using those in Studio C. I hope anyway.
Yeah. Well, definitely. I mean, if we end up back in Studio C, this is quite the turnout.
I know. This is really fun. I'm loving having a studio audience here.
I know.
Yeah, it's really great. Oh, hello, Matthew. Hello, Jen. Lots of people are saying hello. Thank you for saying hi
there's
to
like
us.
all these comments. I'll probably put my glasses on to read them.
So, Michelle, I have another question for you. Since this is your day, I'm putting you on the hot spot.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. That's fine.
So I'm curious, it seems that it's easy to kind of put your life in various decades, like, 1 to 10 years old, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50. So
you have to bring that up.
So I'm curious, and we can approach this from the beginning to now or going backwards. I think it would be really interesting to learn your perspective on if you had advice to give to to yourself below 10 years old in that first decade, what would it be? And then I'd like to go through each decade, and maybe now that you're of this age of wisdom, you could share some of your thoughts to your younger self.
So, like any 0 to 10, I think learn to pee in the bathroom as fast as you can, because then once you can do that, you can like start wearing the cool panties, and you can be outside playing, and you don't have to worry about like having pull-ups or diapers or anything like that. So
I mean, that should be done pretty.
Well, you wanted me to go by decades, and I think that's pretty important.
Okay.
I mean, I think if you don't know how to pee in the bathroom, I mean, you're pretty much limited for like the rest of your life.
Right.
And
right.
Then don't they say that like your whole life is like learning to pee, learning to hold it, and then like trying not to pee on yourself again? I mean, that's pretty much what it is.
Speaking of that comment, so I don't know about you, but like I've found like with age, the urgency to pee, like when I have to pee, I have to go pee. So is this because I've spent my life like holding it in so long and my body's finally like, nope, you gotta go? Or is there as we age, it just gets harder?
Well, Emily, I am no doctor, but I play one on the podcast. I would have to say that it's just part of your body getting older.
Okay.
I mean, some of us say, well, we've had a couple of babies, and that's why we have to. You can't even like sneeze if you have to pee. I mean, if you're ever out and you're in the mall or whatever, and you see you're like, oh wait, that woman just stopped, crossed her legs, and held onto the wall. She's had babies. Because she's afraid she's going to pee all over herself, right now. She has to cough. She has to sneeze.
Yeah.
That's what she's got to do. She's got to put her hand on the wall. And you just know, and you just give her oh, yeah, we understand.
Yeah, part of that club.
But maybe, drink less wine.
Wine is what gets you through the acknowledgement of, oh, okay.
Right.
I guess I'm just getting older.
Just getting older. That's all. And then I think from 10 to 20, the next important thing is to get your driver's license at 16. Because then again, that gives you freedom.
More freedom. I'm
more freedom to make,
freedom trend here.
Choices.
Yeah.
You can get a job. You can drive yourself to a job. You can go to school. All the kind of things can happen. Get a license.
What was your first car? Did you have a car when you were a teenager, or was
I
it
was
later in
so
life?
fortunate enough that my father bought a car for the kids, and it was a 1979 Mustang. It was white.
Nice.
Yeah, it wasn't the cool Mustang.
Well,
It wasn't the cool Mustang. It was a Mustang, though. Everybody else had Mustangs. They all had the cool Mustangs, but we didn't have the cool Mustang because ours was 1979, not 1969 Mustang.
Oh.
So we had when Ford really screwed the body.
Okay.
Yeah, so we had that, and my father he insisted that all 4 kids drove it. So,
it got some abuse.
Well, between my oldest brother and my youngest brother, there's 9 years. So by the time my youngest brother came along, he just refused to drive it and drove my dad's truck.
Okay.
So the Mustang sat there. And I remember one time, my sister told me the story when she was driving the Mustang and I was off at college, and the passenger door fell off.
Oh my God.
Yeah. She was out with a friend of hers, and the passenger door fell off. And then she paged my father because he didn't have the pagers. He had paged him on the golf course and had to wait till he got to a phone to call her back. And she said, "Dad, my God, Dad, the passenger door fell off. What do I do? He said, well, just put it in the back seat and drive home.
Oh,
So
my
she did.
God.
She put it in the back seat and drove home, and her friend was in the passenger seat. I was
Holding on for dear life.
Yeah, holding on. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I had the opposite, well, not the opposite problem, but I had a similar door issue with my first car. We both had sports cars as our first cars, by the way.
Yeah.
I had a little red Fiero.
Probably much cuter than our white Mustang.
It was a cute little car.
Yeah, Fieros were, my
it
best
was
friend
fun.
in Sweden had one. Yeah.
It was fun. So at one point something happened and I couldn't, the door wouldn't actually stay shut. So I had to like drive, like holding the door
driver's
shut.
door?
Yeah, it just,
Oh my God.
it wouldn't latch to stay shut. So that was an exciting moment. And especially because it was a manual car. So like I'm holding it shut, I'm driving and I'm shifting and that was
So did you get
fun.
really good at using your knees to drive at that point in time in your life? Like, oh, that's what that's for.
Right, right.
Oh, fun.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah.
I can tell our fathers loved us so much.
I bought that
You
car.
bought it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I saved money from all my years of babysitting and cleaning pools and all that stuff.
Well, the first car
Yeah.
I bought was a red Pontiac Le Mans.
Hey,
It looked like a baby booty. And it was a stick shift. It was like 4-speed. It wasn't even a 5-speed. But it fit my cocktail waitress income. So I was able to afford it. And we kept that until 1996.
Oh, is that when the minivan came in?
Oh, no. The minivan came
oh,
later.
wait,
But
that would have been much later, yeah.
Yeah, 1996 when I used to live in Loughborough, and Loughborough was like a 50. It's your thoroughfare to 55, and people drive on it like they're already on 55.
Right,
And
right.
somebody overnight just crashed in the back of it, and then they sped off, so it was totaled. And it was paid for, which of course I've learned is how it usually goes. Once the car is paid for, it will be totaled by somebody else, and you have to start all over again.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've had my car for a long time. You know, I've got 330,000 miles on my car.
And it's paid off.
And it has been long paid off. Now, I am starting to get to the point where I'm like, just a little worried that the steering wheel is going to fall off in my hand.
But you already have all that skill from your
I know,
Fiero,
I'm like,
so you're just like, I just have to hold it there.
Hold
It's
it in
good.
place with
Hold
my
it.
knees.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. So that's 10 to 20, 20 to 30.
Okay, yeah.
20 to 30, I think if I read something in this book called Sex at Dawn that I think every woman should, or every man and woman should realize that when women are on birth control, that changes their hormones and that changes their attraction, right? We're attracted to our partner, you have a chemical attraction.
Right.
And that so many women are meeting their spouse when they're on birth control. And then when they go off birth control, they're like, what the hell? God, I don't want to have sex with him. And they don't know why. So I would have, although I love my children, I would have not been on the pill to meet my spouse.
I think that's really good advice because I've noticed, in dating previously, there were, a couple of people that either was like just kind of intoxicated being around them, or I was like I was repelled, and it's that pheromone thing.
Yeah.
So imagine if the person I was intoxicated with,
would naturally be repelled against.
Right.
Because the hormones are being altered by the birth control.
There's got to be some genetics playing into that too, like something with nature saying, something
without
messy could happen here.
I don't know. Again, like I play an anthropologist on the podcast, but I'm not really one in real life. But I would just think that it's the hormones and the chemicals, and when they're altered, your choices are different. So,
That's
although
great
I
advice.
do love all of my children, I'm going to stress that in case they're watching later.
In case there might be one in the audience.
In case there might be one in the studio audience, acting as technical director today. I do love all of my children.
Of course.
It's
yes.
for the people out there. So that's 20 to 30. Yeah.
Yes,
right?
20
That's
to
like,
30. So
fast.
we're getting there. So
30 to
30
40. Yeah. So what would I tell my 30 to 40-year-old self? It gets better.
Gets better.
I was newly divorced in my 30s with 3 young kids. So that's like, you think it's the prime of your life, and you've got the 3 young kids you're home with, and you might feel a little anxious that you're missing out, and resentful that you're missing out, and that maybe things shouldn't have gone this way, but it gets better. You have like a role to play, and as a woman, you can play that role, and but it's not permanent.
Yeah.
Somebody said to me one time, they said, whenever you're having like a really like shitty moment, whether it's like going through cancer or getting divorced or whatever, to look at it as this like tiny little speck in like the length of your life, right? It's just this little, it's just small,
Right.
Even though it feels like forever. I'm never, but it
Right.
is. It is a short amount of time. So just know that it
gets
does get better,
better.
and surround yourself with really cool people.
I definitely had a similar experience in my 30s. I think that is just becomes a time when it's like you're starting to get in the groove of your life, and then you're like, let's just upheave it. I realized that it was time for me to really, find what makes me happy and make some big changes, which very similar, it was a pivotal time in your life as well. So I'm, of course, like you, very thankful that I did that work then.
Yeah. I think that it was how it was supposed to be. Like getting divorced with the kids. It was how that part of my life was supposed to be, and because my voice was kind of coming out, I'd like to tell this funny story. Thankfully, my ex-husband doesn't watch these live shows or listen to my podcast. But I like to tell this story about how I had put on my living room these paint swatches, this color blue. And then I because we had moved in this house, and it was like these white walls. I was like, I need some color, and it had been up there for a while. And I went to Lowe's or Home Depot, because Lowe's wasn't even by the house at that point. Home Depot, and I bought that blue color. And I came home on Friday, and I just started painting it. And he sat there on the couch, and he was like, "Well, I'm really glad you asked me if I wanted it to be painted blue." And I said,
He felt left out.
"Oh, no." And I said to him, I said, "Well, the color's been on the wall for a year. You had ample time to tell me you didn't like it."
Right.
And then that was like a change from acquiescing and trying just to keep him happy, or, got to keep everybody happy. And it was like, no, I want the house, I want this to be blue. So I painted it blue, and then I painted the next room, and then I painted the next room. And over that course of 2 years is when we divorced.
There it is. You slowly took that house over, and it became 100% your own home.
100%. And it was very, very colorful. And it was like loud, like red and blue and yellow. And I thought, oh man, that's my subconscious yelling at him. I'm like using all these like colors. And then I was like, I joked with my friends. I'm like, every time I'm mad at him, I go paint another room. So I've kept this one room I haven't done yet, because I know I'm going to get mad at him, and I'm going to need a room to paint, And for the longest time, though,
What was the last room?
It was a half bath in the main level.
Oh, the one that is the good selfie.
It's a very good selfie
like
room.
selfie
That's
room.
all rehab now.
Yeah.
And so then I had that color up there for a long, long time. And then I felt like, okay, this is enough. This is enough screaming and yelling. And now it's a very, subdued, elegant, classy. Not that it wasn't classy before, but all the colors go, and I repainted everything in 2016.
Paint is such a great way to just give your living space a whole new life, and it's cheap. It just requires a little work, but it's so.
And if you
so
don't like it, you
fun.
can change it.
It's easy enough.
Yeah, that's all you can do. It's easy peasy.
Absolutely.
So let's take a quick break, because it's like 7:58
already.
So we're
we'll
like
take
30
a little
minutes,
brief
and then when we come back, we'll hit the next decades, and we'll talk a little bit about my little sheet of paper here I passed out.
Fantastic. Sounds
all right,
great.
are we ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's roll in
Sam.
some break.
Oh, we can't hear it.
No, we should be able to hear it.
We should. Okay. We're not used to
I
Sam
can't
being
hear
so
it.
far away.
Sam's liking being that far away from us.
Well, no, because he can't roll in and out to get his refill on wine.
Oh, no. I can't hear any music.
can't.
Are we on break now, Sam?
Oh,
we're
okay.
on break.
So on this break, we would like to extend a very special thank you to the wine merchant.
Super thank
They
you.
are just wonderful partners of ours, and they teach us a lot about wine. And in fact, we joke about breaking the bank a little bit on this bottle of wine, but in truth, they actually gave it to us to celebrate this occasion. So that was very, very sweet. And we just want to say thank you to the wine merchant.
I'd like to thank the wine merchant for personally sponsoring my 50th birthday. That's 365 days of being 50. So hopefully they know what they're in for. Right?
That's right.
Yeah, we negotiated that,
That's
right?
right.
Okay.
So I don't know if a lot of people know this. Those of you who are in St. Louis, take note. They, on Saturdays, do free wine tastings from 12 to 4. I go always. It has played for me a big role in my own wine education. It's always good. They bring in a different distributor or maker, an expert on the wine that they're showcasing. You get a chance to taste through them all, and it's just a great experience. And I believe they also do them on Sunday. So there's a lot of opportunities for you to taste and learn.
A lot of opportunities. And also for those people who are in St. Louis, and we've said before, you get a discount if you go there and say
That's
you heard about this
right.
wine on Cliterally Speaking. I don't, what's 20, how much? 15% off of that one would at least make it under,
Right.
like close
We've
to
got
100.
an audience member holding up his bottle of wine that has actually picked one up from a previous episode,
What
who's
are you
confirming
drinking?
his discount. Oh, very nice.
But you dropped. You dropped
How
it. What are you drinking?
fantastic.
True Grit. Oh, you can just mention
wow.
Clearly Speaking. That's
How
good to know.
wonderful.
So we're going to take a real quick survey. We have water, and then we have a bottle of True Grit, a Petite Syrah.
Oh, delicious.
Oh, an iced tea,
water,
a water,
Sauvignon
and then
Blanc.
we've got
No drinks over there. It looks like
Michelob Sauvignon.
Oh. Is that a good year?
A Moscato,
Moscato.
a water.
Oh
No,
hey, that's great.
Whole Foods, $3.99.
Yeah. And
Pinot
you're doing a
Grigio.
Syrah over there. Oh, you've got more than one bottle.
And we have
Oh,
cute.
fabulous. Oh my gosh. Vanessa, everyone.
Thank
You might
you.
recognize
Yeah,
her
thank you.
from a
Thank you.
previous episode of the podcast. How fabulous. Yeah, so we've got a wider range of delicious beverages here.
super. Okay, well,
Everyone, thank you for
and
sharing.
then one more reminder, there's like how many days left of April. If you haven't had a chance to use the CSTP code for lovefrancypants.com, be sure to use that because it'll expire. And those are like the best panties ever.
They're great.
I'm wearing mine now.
Yes. True to like
You
what
can tell by my happy face.
True to what you were saying about
They don't chafe.
They don't chafe. They wash and dry really well and hold their
soft.
shape.
They're delicate. They have this pretty lace. Yeah, they're like, handmade by a real person, and
It's a woman-owned company,
Right.
and she does a lot to lift other women in her community.
Right.
It's just a really great company, beyond a great product. So,
Yeah.
big fans.
That's CSTP for Cliterally Speaking the podcast, and you get 25%
25% off. That's
till
a
the
big
end
discount.
of April. That's that's a pretty good. That's really
Yeah.
good. So I actually, since I have the one pair, I'm like, oh, this is a Francie Pants Day. I'm doing something special. I'm going to wear my Francie
Today
pants.
is definitely a Francie Pants
Yeah.
Day.
It's not a pair of panties you do doing laundry. It's not one of those. It's like I want to feel special, and I'm wearing my Francie pants.
I want to get to the point where I don't have any of those panties in my laundry. Like the last, desperate pair. I want to get rid of all those.
Well, Emily, you are a grown woman in your 40s. You can go ahead and get rid of those.
Go out and splurge.
Nobody
and
is
get
making you keep them.
I'm frugal.
Yeah, you
What
can
I
do.
say?
You can do
It
that.
all goes to my wine budget.
Well, then you're going to have to learn to go without panties. Then. All right, so let's roll.
All right, well, let's roll it back in.
Let us know.
Yeah. And we're back. Thank you for letting us take that little brief break so that we could refresh our glasses.
Everybody else has gotten their glasses refreshed.
Yes,
and we'll say hello to everybody who's on out there in Facebook land.
Yes, thank you. We've had a few new people join us. We've had Karen Libby, Jess Boyer. Oh, hello. Jess is a good friend of mine.
John Gertie's just joined. Hey,
John. Josh Levy, Susan Fulbright, John Gertis, William Myers. We've got some.
Julia Greco,
Oh,
Susan.
hey, friends.
Susan
Thank you so
Bardish.
much for
Thank
joining
you so much.
us.
How fun.
Make sure and share what you're drinking today. So before we left, we were talking about advice that Michelle would give to the various decades of her life. And we've made it through the 30s and we're getting ready to go to the 40s.
Right. So in consideration of today's episode and what we're talking about, I had created this 10 years ago, almost exactly 10 years ago. I have a blog that I have out there that I started writing even earlier, and it's called the Minivan Philosopher, because I always felt like I was a minivan philosopher. And I stopped contributing to it in 2016. So
Was that when you got rid of the minivan by chance?
I don't know. I'd have to ask my son when we got rid of the minivan. Well, there's that.
Okay, so it fell apart. Oh, okay.
Actually, yeah, you're right. It was 2016 because I was like, I don't want to pay 2017 taxes on this anymore. That's why, that's exactly what I said. But Minivan Philosopher. And so I wrote this, and it's called Some Things I've Learned. And I was reflecting up on the things I'd learned, up until almost turning 40. And I thought I would revisit them. And the first one is, if you smile pretty, the sales guy at AutoZone will put on your windshield wipers for you at no charge.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That is I'll have to work on my smile.
Smile
pretty. I've never gotten a free.
You haven't? I mean, oh my gosh, that's so easy. And then there is a big difference between organic chicken and that other stuff in the stores.
Oh,
organic
absolutely.
chicken tastes like chicken. And I learned that 10 years ago. And it doesn't matter if you do one shot of tequila or 12 shots of tequila. I'm going to throw up.
Okay, good to know. We won't be doing tequila on any of our episodes.
Yeah. It goes back to college.
Okay.
I haven't lost it from college yet. And then obviously, because this was written 10 years ago, it said children under 6 are brutally honest even when it's not requested. He's almost 16 now. He's still very honest. Coming over here, I actually picked him up from school today, and I was like, "Hey, how you doing, William? Willie?" And I was like, "Hey, great day. Let's go here." He's like, "Mom, stop." I was like, "Oh, come on. Let me have one more." He's like, "Is there not a mute button on you?"
Oh,
I know.
That's harsh. And you brought him here today?
Of course I did, because I love him. But he's very, very honest. And then, this is a good one. No one is going to show up on my doorstep with my dream job on a silver platter. I actually have to go out there and get it for myself. What are we doing here, right? This is my dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. We made it happen.
Yeah.
Houses do not clean themselves, no matter how much I twitch my nose back and forth.
Oh, so true. Yeah.
But I've learned just to give up on thinking that I have to have a really pretty, great, clean house. I mean, it's clean. I mean, you're not going to get a staph infection from coming to my house.
Yeah.
Anymore.
Yeah. I definitely went through phases in my life where everything had to be perfect and clean. And then I've really released that throughout the years. And I think it's a far healthier place to be, because I think when I needed it to be so orderly and perfect, it was a symptom of that was the only place I could get order in my life, right?
Yeah.
And so now, you come over and sometimes it's just kind of a mess, and that's okay.
I'm happy to move things over to sit down. I'm happy. I'm used to it. I'm totally used to it.
You know what? You will be happy to know the Christmas trees are down.
Oh.
Yes. Can we get a round of applause for that?
But so soon.
Well,
really, Emily.
I like to say birth to resurrection. So, yeah. So, yeah.
And our tree goes up the day after Thanksgiving and comes down the day after New Year's, because I just got that. I gotta have my couch where in the spot so I can watch the TV again.
Oh yeah.
Without having to be over on the other side. I'm not ready to dance with just one man.
I like that.
That was from
That's very
tango
fitting.
days. And it's like, I thought, well, I'm not. I want to dance with like a variety of
Yeah,
partners.
fair enough.
And it seems to be a continuation in my life. Maybe if I change it, like, okay, I'm ready to dance with one man, then one man will show up.
Yeah, you'll
instead of
manifest that.
A variety
Yeah.
of them. Let's see. And then, floss.
Oh,
Yeah.
you just learned that?
No. These are things
Oh,
that
just
I
you're
know.
reinforcing.
I was reinforcing. Flossing is good.
Okay.
Yeah, I had gone from college to I was pregnant with my son who's 20.
Oh,
So it was about 10 years, and I had didn't go to the dentist because I didn't have any money or dental insurance and things
Sure.
like that. And I was on a flight back pregnant with Jacob, and I like to chew ice. And I was chewing on some ice on the airplane, and like my back tooth cracked. I was like, what?
oh.
And I went to I was like, hey, Mom, do you know a dentist here? Because we were, relatively new to St. Louis, a few years. And so she said, yeah, go to Dr. Rosen. And I have been every 6 months to get my teeth cleaned since then. So 20 years, every 6 months.
Yep.
Because it took them 4 visits
Oh my goodness.
to clean my teeth. It's
Yeah.
like, okay. And then Dr. Rosen was very wise. He said, only floss the teeth you want to keep. Your choice. So
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I'm going to try to keep them all.
Yes.
Okay, this one is an important one that everybody needs to listen to out there in Facebook land as well as here. You can't orgasm when you're dead.
Oh,
So you might as well have as many as you can while you're living.
yes. Yes.
And we're
love
having an
that.
episode coming up in a
Oh my
couple
gosh.
weeks that we had
great.
Laura Haddock with Laura DiCarlo, and she created this
A product called Osei.
Osei massager, and it gives it's a hands-free personal massager that gives you blended orgasms.
So
Wow.
that is a
I
fascinating
can't wait to give my review on that.
I know. We're like, yes, put us on the wait list.
I'm gonna start saving my pennies so I can have that one. It's like we've always thought you had to have like that special partner that could do that for you, and now women, you can have something that will give you that without having to have the
You don't
baggage.
even have to educate them.
I don't have to dance with just one man to have that orgasm. Yeah, so that's important. You can't orgasm when you're dead.
Very true.
Sorry to disappoint you guys out there. So this I wrote 10 years ago, and it said, carrying around guilt and shame that is 20 years old is like burying yourself alive. So now, just fast forward 10 years.
Right.
If you carry around guilt and shame from 30 years ago, you're just burying yourself, and you've got to let that go.
Right.
Because
So, how do you do that though? I mean, what are some tactics that you have? Wine, of course, and improv.
and improv. Yeah, they don't realize it's therapy for me, right? Gosh, she must be carrying around some guilt and shame. I mean, she's really funny today. She must be letting go of some guilt and shame.
Right. Okay. I think that's
It's not just that. You have to forgive yourself. You have to realize that nobody else is like, oh, there's that one time she slept with that guy in college. What a slut. I mean, nobody cares.
yeah.
Nobody cares. And you have to let that go.
It's interesting how many times, like when you go and you have like later in life, you go and try to have that conversation with somebody that you feel bad about a certain experience, and how many times they don't even remember it. Like, this happens like with my brother and just family. Like I'll be, oh man, do you remember that one time? I still feel like a jerk for that. And they're like, what are you talking about? So it's amazing to me how we hold on to these things that just are
right, and
carry no weight to
I
others.
would go one step further. I mean, that's nice that you apologize to somebody else. You need to apologize to yourself because we only carry the guilt and the shame around things when we think, oh yeah, I really screwed that up in 1987.
Right, December 18th.
Right, and we have to let that go. And once you let that go, then you can you stand taller and you realize, yeah, I have every right to be standing here on this earth in this time in my life. That I'm not an imposter. I am valid. But you have to let yourself you have to let go of that.
Very
So
good point.
that was, I was becoming quite the philosopher when I was 40. Oh yeah, this is also good. When they say to take ibuprofen with food, they mean it.
Oh,
they mean it, yeah, because otherwise you will screw your stomach up. I don't play a doctor, but and then I don't have to be unhappy. I can change my circumstances. You know,
Right.
so many times we think that, oh, this is it. This is the life I have.
I'm just going to settle into it and do what I'm told.
Hopefully they'll write something nice about me on my tombstone. You know, maybe somebody will come, you know, or like, but there's no reason. There's no reason to stay. You can change your circumstances. It's hard. It's not going to be easy, but it is worth it.
One step at a time.
One step. Again, back to tango. Dancing tango is like being hugged for 3 hours.
That's interesting. You know, and hugging can be great. Hugging can be great therapy. You know, and we do have a guest that we're going to be featuring coming up that actually specializes in that kind of therapy. It's
called platonic cuddling. I'm very interested to learn more about that because I'm like, you pay somebody to spoon you.
Yeah, and work through your problems.
Yeah,
you know, so it'll be very interesting to learn about that. But yeah, a good hug sometimes. I mean,
it'd be really interesting. And I'm like sitting here thinking, I just rather have a podcast and tell the world about my, problems than like lay next to somebody this close and they're like, oh yeah, well, there's
have some wine. Yeah. But you know, there are definitely times when it's like, man, I've had a rough day, and sometimes all you need is a hug. Yeah. You've got Will.
I do have Will. I'm like,
that's helpful. Oh, he just rolled his eyes.
He's like, oh gosh, is there not a mute button on my mom? That's what he's saying. Oh, this is good. No matter where I've traveled, people are the same. We cry, we laugh, we get married, we have families, we dance, and we die. And the sun shines everywhere, not just here. You know?
It's true. It shines and it also rains. So part of like the grass is not greener on the other side. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
I think it's just understanding that humanity is all everywhere. And if you recognize that, you know, people of different cultures in another part of the world, you know, they're you know, a girl's heart is getting broken because the boy, you know, they broke up, or the relationship's not working, or, you know, somebody's excited because they finished their education or got a job, you know, and we all, and if you just can recognize that humanity, maybe we can be a kinder, gentler planet towards each other.
Right.
And maybe not so quick to drop bombs.
Absolutely. Right.
Yeah, I know. Let's see. Having children does not fundamentally change who I am. They enhance my life.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Because, you know, like a lot of people, they define themselves by their, well, you know, these are my kids. They all their identity is tied into their children.
Right.
When, you know, it doesn't, you know, children are an extension of you. They are not all of you.
I've heard people say that they're, you know, not ready to have kids or afraid to have kids because they're afraid of that it'll change who they are. So I love your perspective of it being, no, I'm still me. I'm actually a better me because my life is enriched by other people.
Well, that's what I tell that's what I tell my children anyway.
Oh, that's great.
But no, I've always, because I didn't want people to define me. Oh, you're the mom. You're the mom.
Right.
Yeah. So you probably don't like to, you know, dance tango, or you don't like to
sing karaoke.
Sing karaoke or go, you know, see movies.
You don't like crazy panties.
You just like to go to soccer games, don't you? You're a mom. Yeah. You like to just drive your kids around in your minivan. That's right, because you're a mom. Yeah. And you don't have any opinions about politics because, you know, you're a mom. And that's not it, you know?
Right.
I'm a mom, and I have all of those things,
everything
too.
else.
And thankfully, I have a podcast with you that I can tell the world about them.
That's right.
Yeah, because I don't know what I would do without that. My friends would be like, does she not have a mute button? I think this is prescient, you know, of like 10 years ago. I mean, literally, if you guys look at the date, April 28th, 2009, I wrote this. White wine or red wine, it doesn't long... Start over. White wine or red wine, it doesn't matter as long as I'm sharing it with a friend. I know, right?
Cheers to that one, everybody. Cheers to you,
raise your glasses
here.
on that. And out there in Facebook land.
Yes. I mean, I have been known to drink wine by myself, but it is far better shared. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
that's
is.
where that's the source of all the great conversations.
It is
right?
Yeah, it is far better shared.
Yes.
And I've drank it by myself too, but it is far better shared. I had a great
Yeah.
conversation just earlier this week with some girlfriends around the fire pit. We just shared a bottle of white wine and and we caught up, and it was just really, really nice, you know? And it's like,
great.
oh, we need to do this more often.
Right.
That's always the
Yeah,
phrase.
because once every Monday is not enough.
Well, I mean, I love drinking wine with you, Emily, and I love to drink wine with everybody else too. So
get it.
I
I
do not
get it.
discriminate. I cannot live without passion in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's important for everyone. And find what your passion is.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can take a long time to figure out.
Or it is actually always inside, and you just have to
totally.
like unearth it. You let it go. You let that voice come up. And I think that's what's so interesting for women is that when that voice starts to come up, they're like, I can't put it back down. And you're like, you're not supposed to.
Right.
She's been suppressed for so long. Just let her talk.
I thought that was really cute when your mom was talking about that. During the holidays, she was talking about when all of a sudden when the kids were gone, like her own voice started coming out. And that was, of course, the end of your parents' marriage.
Yeah.
But,
So, there you go.
But she
Thankfully,
is
my dad doesn't
a
watch it either.
vibrant and a very fulfilled woman.
Yeah.
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 So, yeah.
This is sometimes I have so many thoughts rushing around my head that I just have to get it out on paper or now a podcast. And then sometimes I just want to dance.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was dancing a lot back then, 10 years ago, dancing tango a lot. And then our hearts have an incredible capacity for love, and that it really is better to have loved and been loved, even if only for a short period of time, than to never have felt it.
Oh, absolutely.
I
right.
think, yeah. So that's, and then finally, have I stretched it long enough? Yeah, I almost. I have 9 minutes left. I can make this. But the final sentence from 10 years ago is not to give up on hope. Having once lived without it, and after reclaiming it, I will never let it go again. It is too precious. And I did. I lived for many years without hope when I was married, and had realized that this situation, this relationship wasn't how I thought my life would be, and not where I know. And I remembered, like, I would drive home from work, and I was like, oh my God, is this? I didn't have any, like, there's no joy, you know, and then, you know, we got divorced, and although it was hard with the children, you know, having them all the time, I just felt like there was hope again for my life. Because I don't know if you guys remember being 6th grade or 7th grade, and you're with your girlfriends, and they're like, what are you going to be when you grow up? Well, I'm going to be this when I grow up, and I'm going to be this when I grow up, you know? And you're there's nothing that's impossible.
Limitless, right?
Right?
Yeah.
You can be whatever you want to be.
And then you still can.
You still can.
Yeah,
there was just that time in my
knowledge.
life that I thought that was no longer available to me.
Right.
Because I was in a situation and I was miserable, and I was afraid to get out of it. And then somebody else, a wise person, said to me, people remain the same until the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change. I can say that again. People remain the same until the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change.
I'm not so sure that people always recognize the pain they're in until the change has been made, though. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It can be really, because I definitely have had times in my life where it was like the fear of making change, like knowing what I had, there was a bit of a comfort there, and the fear held me back. But once the change started happening, this great sense of relief came into place, and then.
Yeah, like and for some people it can be like that, and then there are others that are like, I know that this is all I have, and I have to make the best of it, and I remember like taking walks in my neighborhood and seeing like an older couple, older, they were probably in their 50s. No, I think they're a little older, maybe 60s, maybe 70s, I don't know, but it was an older couple, and they were working in the garden and stuff. And I just like looked at the couple. I'm like, okay, so I don't want to, I didn't, at that point, my mind was, I don't want to stick around in a marriage until he doesn't have anybody else and he decides to stay,
Sure.
you know?
Sure.
And I was like, I can't do that. I need to let him go. And so when we when we got divorced, and we're friends now. Although he doesn't watch my podcast, which is fine.
Okay.
He'd probably be like, maybe we're not so friends. But it was the best gift we gave each other, because at that point in time, he could go be loved and I could go be loved by people who could love us the right way that we
Right.
needed. So
Right.
so we did, we gave each other that gift.
How
But
old were you when you got married?
I was 24.
Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah. So
a lot of changes happen after 24.
between 24 to 34.
Oh my
so we got divorced.
gosh.
I got divorced at 34.
Yeah.
And
you
then
give it a good 10 years. That's great. I mean, that's a good solid effort,
give you like a
Yeah,
fist
I was
bump on
like,
that.
"Good solid effort there,
but
Michelle."
that's the other thing. Is like, why do we like? Well, you gave it a college try. It's like, what the fuck? I think if it's supposed to work, it works because you cherish each other and you stay together because you cherish each other. And if you don't cherish each other, then get out.
Right. Very true.
You like let him go. Let the partner go. If you don't cherish them, let him go.
Yeah.
Because why?
Open up yourself to new opportunities.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm curious. We've got some, I'm sure, all kinds of wonderful thoughts brewing within our audience members. Are there any thoughts that you would like to share about advice that you would give your younger self? Feel free to
Type
raise
it
your
in.
hand, and no, they can. They're happy to welcome you up to share your statement. We can talk about that.
We have 5 minutes
Yeah,
left of our
so we
live
can take
show.
a couple of minutes. We can take a couple of comments. Anybody have any advice for your younger self?
And it's okay. And it's okay
No?
if you don't. That's fine.
That's all right.
That's
No.
totally fine. There's no
Yeah.
pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, now Anne's thinking. That thought came to her.
Yeah.
No, it went.
I have a thought for my younger self that I would definitely, I would say, especially to that 10 to 20-year-old, for me, I just remember going through junior high and high school, I cared so much what everybody thought of me. And at the compromise of me, like, really diving deep into the things that lit my heart on fire the most. Like I was involved in orchestra. I played, I did theater and orchestra. I was good at it. But man, if I had practiced as much, if I had put as much energy into my practicing the cello as I put into trying to fit in, or put that energy into my studies, I just, I definitely have regret for putting that energy there. I just, I would say let it go and just, really be who you want to be and learn what you want to learn and study what you want to, you know what I mean? I would focus more in on that as opposed to.
And that's so easy for us because we're,
We're older.
We're not in middle school and high school anymore.
Oh, but it's so painful. I mean, I wanted to fit in so bad.
Oh, yeah.
And it was never going to happen.
No,
It was just not going to happen.
I totally understand,
Yeah.
and I also think that, when we say, oh, that's the popular group, you know why they're the popular group? Because we say that they're the popular group.
It's true. We give that a lot of power.
We give somebody else an acknowledgement that they're popular.
Mm-hmm.
So just quit saying, oh, that's the cool people.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You're cool. You have, everybody,
Really?
it's kind of like, how do you own your own agency when you're 16 and 15 and you're trying
really
to,
tough,
your
isn't
whole,
it? Individuality is not embraced when you're a kid. It isn't until you're older that it's like a celebrated thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm working on being eccentric.
Yeah,
because
right,
that's
absolutely.
that's
Yeah.
like the cool thing now.
Okay, so Anne has a point. Trust your own inner authority.
For myself, anyway, I can speak for everybody. I think that my inability, like yours, to branch out away from what was expected, what was required, what was told, the rules of growing up in the church or the parents, or the school had certain norms and certain things that I was told I should do, conform to. But and now I look back and say, wow,
Right.
I had that capacity to trust what I knew to get on to a good path, but I didn't trust it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Right.
But to know that, gosh, I didn't get to this point by accident. I'm alive. I had some good family, good people,
Right.
good experiences, and that really matters. And it might be scary to say, "Oh, I'm going to go do my own thing," despite what you all think.
Right.
God gave me these things to do that.
Yeah.
So let me do it. I didn't have the guts to do it either.
A lot of
Right.
times we don't have the guts when we're 16 and younger,
Yeah,
and
we
sometimes
don't.
30, maybe 40.
Yeah.
I think Darcella was going to say something.
Well, no, for me,
Would you mind coming up so that way our audience, our online audience can hear you too? You can actually come
See,
over here.
like,
if you-
yeah, you
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Get a wave
Come
at
over
him.
and share a microphone for a moment. Yeah.
I don't spend a whole lot of time doing that because even if I were to go back to 16-year-old and tell her all the things I had now, 16-year-old Darcella did not have the comprehension of the information. So none of the words would have mattered. I'd been like, who's this crazy old lady talking to me? I need to keep doing X. So maybe the only thing I might say to her is save more money.
Oh,
Like,
sure.
The 10% is a real thing. Take 10, even if it's 10,
If it's a dime, yeah.
Put it aside. So I might have done that just so I could have practice. So that by the time I comprehended it, it wouldn't have been such a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
Sure.
So that's
Yeah.
probably the only thing. All the rest of it, I wouldn't try to change 16-year-old Darcella because everything that happened to me brought me to here.
Right. No, I agree. I
Yeah.
agree with you on that.
That's
Yeah.
a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good practices.
That was a great- that
Save
was a great
money.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So hey, it's 8:30, and
Wow, an hour just flew by.
Always flies by. We have about
We have a little wine left,
glass or-
which we'll definitely enjoy.
that we need to do that with. But we
Yeah.
need to go ahead and say thank you to all of
Conclude.
our
Yes.
watchers out there, and we
Thank
will
you for
see
joining us today. Thank you for celebrating Michelle's
thank you so much for
50th
celebrating.
birthday. Cheers.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
We will be back on Facebook Live in 1 month because
That's
our
right.
cycle is monthly,
That's
and
right.
it'll be
It's only an hour each month.
just wouldn't everybody like their cycle to be 1 hour each month, and it'll be the last Wednesday in May. So
That's right. Same time.
Same
So,
time,
yeah.
same bat channel, right here on Clearly Speaking the podcast.
That's
Thanks so
right.
much.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you, Sam. All right, and cheers.
Cheers.